Flosstube. This is Stephanie, the Ivy House Crafter, and I am joined by 3 of my kids.
Zaylee hasn't been here before.
You've seen Philip before, he's been on here a couple times. This is Audrey, she's been on here the most. And this is my oldest daughter, Zaylee. Is it weird to be just sitting here staring at a camera while I talk to people who aren't even there yet? A little bit. So Zaylee and Audrey both have something to show, and Philip, you have something to say. What do you want to say?
I'm going to cross stitch again.
Yep, he's going to do some more cross stitching. I'm going to help him
So you're
this
going
afternoon.
to be seeing Philip again. Yay!
Yep. So let's go ahead and see what Audrey's been working on.
I've been working on my hedgehog.
Alright, so here's a picture of what it's going to look like.
And this is what it looks like right now.
This pattern has quarter stitches in it.
Yeah, and I've been learning this.
Yep, so I've showed her how to do the quarter stitches. It's a little bit hard for her to get the needle down through the middle of the Ada stitch, but she's getting there.
Yeah. Have I shown the chestnut?
I think you showed the chestnut, but
Like fully chestnut?
I don't remember.
And anyways.
Okay, so
Wait, I think I should show the paper first.
okay.
Okay, so I made my own design. Finally, it's a bunch of popsicles.
1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Bunch of popsicles. I've gotten that one, but not the sticks. I'm going to start working on that one.
They can't see when you point from the back.
Oh.
So Audrey has
Pink
designed.
one, the red one, and I'm not done. I've done the pink one and the red one, not the sticks. And I'm going to be starting on the brown one.
Yep.
It also
So
has
it's
green.
a pink popsicle
Yeah.
and a red popsicle and this is supposed to be a chocolate
Drizzle.
popsicle with a lime drizzle on it. All right.
And finally, what I got. What do I got? What do
There we
I
go.
got?
Okay. So here's her little piece with all the foods that she stitched. I don't remember if she had finished her chestnut before, but her chestnut is done. And here is the 2 popsicles that she's been working on stitching.
With no
Yeah, they don't have the sticks yet,
sticks.
but
I'm going to do
Yeah.
that last. And that's enough for me.
so that's Audrey's work. And Zaylee has, she has a kit that I got for her a couple years ago for Christmas, and she started working on it. Oh, we didn't bring the, what it's going to look like, but it is going to be some flowers, and that is what she's got so far.
I can get it.
Well, that's okay. The next time she gets on in and shows it.
No, I'm going to go get it right now.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It'll take too
Want to
long.
see my creation? My
What's
latest creation?
Do you have it with you right now?
Uh-huh.
Oh, this is his Lego creation. Does it go this way or this way? This way?
Well, actually, it doesn't look like that. It looks like this.
Oh, it looks like this. This is Philip's Lego creation.
But
Just
there's
like this.
another Lego creation over here. It's a missile. This was sticking it up.
Yeah, he's been having fun with Legos.
Anyways.
Okay, so that is it for the kids portion of the show. And they're going to head downstairs, and I'll be right back with what I've been working on. Okay, that was fun, wasn't it? And now it sounds like I might be joined by the cat. We'll see. Okay, so what I have been working on, I've been doing, I haven't cross-stitched every day because, you know, we're still doing homeschool, obviously, and there's a lot that is keeping me busy. Just kind of going back and forth between all the kids and helping them with whatever they need help with. So I don't get cross-stitching every day, but yeah, what I've been working on is, you know, it's a good busy, but then when I do get a chance, I have been enjoying some stitching and also some sewing. So I wanted to start with showing what I've been sewing. And a little bit of background, my baby sister is getting married this week, and we are a little bit of a quirky family. You don't see it so much with me because I'm kind of the most toned down of all of us, but there's definitely quirkiness. And so, for instance, my younger sister, my youngest sister who's getting married, she has, a traditional, really pretty, flouncy, lovely white wedding dress, and her hair, she has dyed it blue. She generally has like a dark blonde hair, but it's blue for the wedding. And one of my other sisters got the idea that it would be kind of fun to make and wear a non-traditional dress to the wedding, like, a dress where the fabric is a little bit fun. And so my younger sister, she just loved that idea. She's like, heck yeah, make a quirky dress to wear to my wedding. I'd love that. And so we all got in on it. There are 5 of us girls in the family. And so there's the sister getting married with blue hair, and then the other 4 of us, we all have a slightly quirky dress or skirt to wear to the wedding. My older sister, she made a wrap maxi dress, and the fabric, the pattern on it is little girls floating around with balloons. And the sister that is just younger than me, she is going to be wearing a maxi dress. It's like bright red, and it's covered in popsicles. And she has a daughter, and there was like enough fabric left to make a dress for her daughter out of the same fabric, so they'll be matching. The next younger sister after that, she is studying to be a geologist, and so she made a skirt that is like a cross-section of the Earth's crust, and so there's like fault lines and the different layers and granite intrusions and all sorts of really cool stuff. And that's her skirt that she's going to be wearing. And for me, I'll show the dress that I made in just a little bit, but first I wanted to test the pattern that I was going to be using to make sure that it would fit me okay, and I used it to make a shirt, because actually you use a shirt pattern for this dress, and it's a tutorial for using the shirt pattern to make a maxi dress. So I used the shirt pattern to make a shirt first. So yeah, I promised there would be a little bit of background, and I've been jabbering on for who knows how long. Anyway, so here is the shirt that I made, and it's just this really lovely, very drapey, soft, stretchy material, and it's just really pretty, and I feel like it does wonders for my complexion. I really like it. Anyway, so, made the shirt, it fit just great. If I make more shirts out of this, I think I'll flare them out a little bit more, because it's a little more fitted in my midsection than I prefer. But for the dress, it was perfect. So like using the pattern for the dress. Anyway, so here's the shirt. And the dress that I will be wearing is this. And if you look at the pattern, it is paisley and cats, because I like paisley and I like cats. So it's this really pretty dark maroon color with cream colored cats. And it's hard to see, but it's got like an elastic sort of waistband. It's a high waist, and when I wear it, it kind of makes me feel like I'm from like Jane Austen era. It's almost got that kind of silhouette. And it's a maxi dress. So anyway, really pretty dress, and just slightly quirky. Like I said, I'm actually more subtle in my quirkiness than my sisters. So, no girls floating around with balloons, no popsicles, no correct cross-section or accurate cross-section of the Earth's crust or anything. Just paisley and cats. So that's the sewing that I did in the past couple of weeks. And now I will move on to my cross stitching. I don't have my notebook that tells me when I worked on everything, but if you really want to know, you can just look on my Instagram. I'm at Ivy House Crafter, and it says how many days ago I posted each picture, and that's how long ago I worked on it. Anyway, so I worked on active service for a day, and let's see, so this and the next one or two, maybe just one. Anyway, yeah, so this one and the next one were my wrap up of Arbitrary August. I never did film an official Arbitrary August wrap up. This is what I worked on, but that's okay. So yeah, this was one of the projects that I worked on at the end of Arbitrary August, and what I added was some of this really dark brown in her hair, and really like how that is turning out. I just think she is so beautiful. Somebody commented on my Instagram that she wouldn't like having those eyes staring at her while stitching on it, but you know, she's looking pretty and stuff. And I don't mind it. I think I like it better with her eyes than I did before her eyes were done, because my daughter, Audrey, said that she looked really, really creepy with her eyes not done, so I don't mind having her complete face watching me while I stitch. It doesn't bother me. So yeah, that is Active Service, and it is a design from Purple Stitcher on Etsy. No, Purple Stitching on Etsy, and I will link this pattern below. Okay, and the last day of August, again for Arbitrary August. Oh, hang on, I did not show what she will look like when she's done. Active Service, this is what she's going to look like. So obviously I'm up here, I still have all of this to do. Her knitting hands, knitting a sock for the war, for the soldiers. Anyway, and that is being stitched on white 18 count Aida. Okay, so there we go. The last day of August, I worked on Deer and Squirrel, and this is a sampler that I designed. I'm stitching this on 14 count cream linen. 14, it's 40. 1/2 on 40 count cream linen. So I added P, Q, R, S, and the first little bit of T. And that is how this one is coming along. I really, really love these dainty, tiny stitches. They are fun. They're not super easy because this fabric is so tiny, you know, the holes in the fabric, but I just love the way that it looks. My goal over the month of August had been to work on every one of my projects at least once, and because of all the days in August that I did not stitch, I did not meet that goal. There was one project that I didn't work on, and that was my little Arches National Park full coverage piece, the one that's like, you know, 3 inches. I didn't grab that to bring over, but I want to try to work on that sometime this month. We'll see what happens. So, later, yes, September 2nd, I think, that was Labor Day, and I follow Stitch the Stash on Instagram, and she announced a Labor Day start for a new sal she was doing with, I don't remember who else, but it was her and somebody else, and it was for this pattern, which I happen to have, Tired Trio, And sloths, I mean, I had to start in, I wasn't planning on having a new start, but I absolutely could not help myself, and I started it. This is a piece of fabric that I dyed myself using natural dyes. It was like onion skin and blueberries and cinnamon and turmeric all like mixed together. So this is a 28 count Monaco. And here is the cute little sloth that I stitched on Labor Day. It's the middle sloth in here, and that's where I started because this was the only fancy floss color that I actually had on hand. I had used it for another project that I didn't need it for anymore, and so I was able to stitch the little sloth. And I have since ordered and received from 123 Stitch all the other colors so I can work on this some more. Anyway, I love it. Audrey loves it because sloths are like her favorite animal, just like they are mine, and I'm excited to continue working on that. Okay, also this week I worked on the cabinet by Thistles, and this is designed by Lisbeth Gottschall. And I'm probably butchering that name, but what she doesn't know can't hurt her. Alright, so I'm working on the second shelf. So here's the first shelf, it's all done, and here's the second shelf, and it is a lot of blue enamelware type stuff. So what I did was I added these 3 teacups and the darker blue portion of these 3 teacups, and I still need to fill in the light blue of that and, you know, bring these the lines between the panels on the back of the shelf, and then there's some cutting boards here and some other like enamelware or something. Anyway, so that's turning out really cute. It was it was craft night when I was stitching on this. So that was this past Tuesday, where myself and a handful of other ladies from our church get together and spend like 4 or 5 hours just crafting. Some people sew, some people crochet, and you know, sometimes I sew, sometimes I bring my crocheting or knitting, and a lot of times I bring my cross stitch. And I brought my cross stitch because it weighs a lot less and is a lot easier to carry than a sewing machine and all the accoutrements to go with it. So yeah, that was my craft night stitching the cabinet by Thistles. How do I have that folded? There we go. Alright, the last whip that I have to show. This is one that I worked on yesterday. I was able to get quite a lot of stitching time yesterday compared to other days of the week because it was Saturday and I didn't have to do school with the kids. So that was nice. So I got out, I'll show it here first. Forever and Ever, Songbird's Garden series from Cottage Garden Samplings. And this is number 1. So I finished filling in the lady cardinal and outlined the gentleman cardinal. And it looks like I'm almost done, doesn't it? But there's so much stitching that's left. I have to, you know, come in with the, well, I have to finish filling him in and then put in the vine down here and the flower and the rose between them. It's still a lot of stitching, but I am getting pretty close on this, somewhat. So there's that, and I really like how this one is turning out. It's fun. And as I always do, I have just realized that I have not been saying the fabrics on which I'm doing my stitching, but that one is a 36 count Tyco Edinburgh linen. It's very, very pale green and just barely mottled. Okay, the last thing I have to show is I have two finishes. Oh, the book is all the way over there. Way over there. Okay. That's okay. I have the finish and you don't need to see what it is. A book I got at the library, Ultimate Cross Stitch by Maria Diaz, I believe. And this is one of 4 in the set and it's called Chirpy Visitors. So I finished this up. I finished the branch and the leaves and then backstitched the whole thing. And there it is. It's super cute. And I will be stitching the other 3 on here as well. It's just some 28 count Carolina linen and the color is sand. There we go. And it's from Charles Craft. So just the kind that comes in the roll at Joann's, or I think Walmart used to have it. No. Anyway, doesn't matter. Linen. And you know, I've cut a piece off to put something else on, but there is plenty of room for the other 3 on here, and then I'll, I don't know, make like a group of pillows or something and display them together, and it's very sweet. Alright, last thing to show you. I finished, where is it? I have like I have 3 projects in this bag. I can't, there we go. Chalkboard Mandala by Ink Circles, in a completely different colorway, obviously, because mine is on 32 count Lambswool Jobelin, and it is a yellow and orange variegated floss from J&P Coats. And it's done! So last time let me see, I'm trying to remember which corner it was that I just put in. I think it was this one. I stitched it like this because at some point I got it like mixed up and forgot which way I had been stitching up and down, which I realized when I went back and looked at all my progress on Instagram, and I realized that this red part right here, when I was first stitching it, it was on the bottom, and then eventually it ended up on the top. So, hang on. This corner, yeah. So this is what I stitched right in here a couple days ago, and finished it off. And since it's really the same on all 4 sides, it really doesn't matter how I hold it up. It's all good. It looks good any way you hold it up. Anyway, my original plan was to stitch this 2 times, once in this colorway and then once in a blue colorway, and display it as Fire and Ice. Having stitched each of those corners 4 times, and you know, several of the motifs 8 times, because there's one here and here and here and here, here and here. Anyway, I don't want to stitch it anymore. So I'm going to be getting a different Ink Circles mandala pattern. I think I want to do the flower mandala or floral mandala. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's the same size and similar style, and I will do that in the blue colorway, and so display them side by side. I have the fabric and the floss for that. I just need to get the pattern, and that will happen eventually. But for right now, I have lots of other projects to work on, and so I'll be taking a mandala break for now, but I will be getting back to that at some point in the future. Hello, kitty. You probably can't see her, but she's like right here next to me. Aren't you? And that is all that I have. I don't know how much stitching I'll be able to get done this week because we have school, we have one of my daughters has a birthday, we have my sister's wedding, so we're going up to Idaho and spending several days there. I'll be bringing some stitching, just like, you know, easy fill-in type stitching. So probably like my Americana sampling, no. Yeah, Americana, it's a Plum Street samplers, anyway, so I can like fill in bricks with that one. Or the cat sampler, because I have the whole house to just fill in with that. Anyway, we'll see what happens, and have a great week, everybody, or 2 weeks if I don't update next week. Because I'm feeling like with the small amount of stitching time that I have compared to what I used to, I don't know that I will keep updating every single week because there wouldn't be very much to show. So I might do every 2 weeks or just whenever I feel like putting a video together. Anyway, so until I see you again, happy stitching, everybody. Bye. I know. You're gonna get off my lap so I can turn it off.